Now, look, Nintendo has done a lot of stupid things like shutting down emulation, all this stuff, but let's just focus on something cool that they've done. Hey, everybody, I'm Craig. Welcome to the Side Course Podcast channel. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Join the 100,000 normal men seeking common sense in the video game and entertainment space. Glad you're here. Welcome. Hit the thumbs up button while you're at it. Hey, let's talk about F-Zero. Okay, so Nintendo, this is a franchise that started back in the Super Nintendo. I remember playing back the original F-Zero, and I was like, whoa, this is amazing stuff. Mode 7 graphics, it's amazing. Holy crap. And it's kind of sputtered throughout the years. I think a lot of people say it kind of peaked in the GameCube era. There was one back in the day. And this year we've seen kind of a resurrection, if you will, of the F-Zero franchise with F-Zero 99 on the Switch. And a lot of the games being placed on the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, the GBA games and the Super Nintendo game and all that stuff. After, I know it's been said many, many times by Shigeru Miyamoto, the superstar Mega Man, super god at Nintendo, that F-Zero, there's really no reason to make a new one. But they have kind of changed things around, like I said, with F-Zero 99. So let's talk about this. A couple days ago, Nintendo announced a couple things coming to Nintendo Switch Online, specifically dealing with F-Zero 99. So check this out. They announced that they're going to have some new tracks, new decals, and expanded practice mode, and new league. Now, if you played F-Zero 99, this is legit this is a phenomenal like battle royale style game. It's very, very intense. And there's like a method to this game. There's like an ebb and flow, like most of these games. If you just kind of like putting your pedal to the metal the entire time, you're probably going to lose. There's actually like some intense strategy. And the first time I won an actual first place in a race, I was stoked. I did it on stream. It was intense. So F-Zero 99, great. They're continuing to update this game. I don't know what the player count looks like in this game, but I'll tell you what, those who play it love it. And those who have continued to play it, I mean, we're approaching, I think it's a year now this game has been out. And which for me actually makes me sad because that's going to last longer than Mario 35, which I think is like the best battle royale game ever, at least from a old school perspective, modernizing it for the modern audience. Or the retro modern audience. But they're not done. Nintendo's not done with F-Zero because they also announced that pretty much some classic games from the Game Boy Advance are now making their way. One, which was a Japan exclusive, which some people consider the best of all the F-Zero games. Let's check this out. They announced this trailer. Let's go watch this 58 seconds of chaos here.
3, 2, ready, fire.
So GP Online, GP Legend, which is from Game Boy Advance back in the day, very, very much looks like a Game Boy Advance game, but has that, very classic look. So they announced two games. First one, Game Boy Advance game.
Ready, fire.
Can we give it up for the blue, what's it? Not Blue Falcon. It's Big Blue. That's what the Big Blue theme, man. It's spectacular. Still one of the best. Woo!
Go!
And now, this is the big one. Previously unreleased outside of Japan. And I'm going to tell you exactly why this is a big deal.
1, fire. Fire.
All right, so these two games coming to the Nintendo Switch Online, F-Zero GP Legend and F-Zero Climax. Now, people are stoked about this. If you're a fan of Nintendo, if you're a fan of F-Zero in particular, people are very, very excited. As pointed out by Doomed Bun over on X. Thank you, Doomed Bun. Says, I need you guys to understand that F-Zero Climax is the best installment in the series. Finally, a Western release, the fastest 2D game by far. No longer have to spend a pretty penny on a copy, which we're going to get to that in just a little bit. It says, yes, the game was only released in Japan, but still mostly in English. And I think that's the biggest thing for me. Whenever you see these games that were Japanese-only releases that are released to the United States, they're not localized with English in them. So me being stupid, American. I can't speak Japanese, so I don't know how to even navigate the menus, let alone play the game. So to have a game that is primarily in English for stupid Americans like myself, this is actually very, very nice. And obviously, great controls along the way. So this is also pointed out by the NCS Master. Says this means there's only one F-Zero game missing from the entire series to be on Switch, and that is F-Zero GX. That is the game that is on the GameCube that some people say is the best one. Now, here's the mainline games, courtesy of Nintendo.fandom.com. Over here, you see the original F-Zero game. This is the satellite game from 1997. That is not on the Switch Online. F-Zero X, the expansion, Maximum Velocity. Obviously, the arcade game is not on the Switch as well, but the Climax game, 2004. That was the last game before F-Zero 99. So to see that released is actually very, very cool over here in the United States. I'm very much looking forward to trying this. I didn't even know this game existed. Said for me, I love the classic style of F-Zero. The 64 version and the GameCube version, they're so freaking fast. I felt like my face was melting whenever I played that back in the day. But let's actually bring it back to this F-Zero Climax thing. I always like to check out price charting. Now, in the chat, in the comments, well, you're going to find out in about 5 seconds. I'm saying he's doing the live show, which we'll be returning on Monday. But I was going to have you guess the price of this right now, of F-Zero Climax. According to price charting, the loose price is $115. $115 for just the cart of the game for the Game Boy Advance. That's Japanese. And obviously, the complete version is $351. So to see Nintendo bringing this back and saying, hey, we're going to let everybody have access to this. It only took 20 years for you to F-Zero Climax over here in the States. I actually think that's pretty cool. And I will not complain. I know that, like I said, Nintendo's done some really stupid things, but I think the same reasons why we love Nintendo are the same reasons why we hate Nintendo. They're so protective of their IP. They protect it like no company that I pretty much have ever seen. They go in and we saw a story this week where they were shutting down emulators. They're shutting down more emulators and Switch emulators and stuff. And along those lines, they shut down a Wii U emulator, and all that stuff sucks. It sucks for preserving these games because ultimately they want to continue to make money from their products, and this is a great way to do it with their Nintendo Switch Online. Now, I'm a customer of the Nintendo Switch Online, so whenever these games pop up, it's like, oh, you always feel like you get just a little bit extra. You get that dopamine hit. You get that a little extra rush of like, oh, fun, cool, especially when there's a game that you never played before. And I know that by being a member of this service, I've played a number of games that I didn't even know existed for the first time. So it's really good. I would love to hear your thoughts about this. Have you played F-Zero Climax? Is it really as good as everybody says it is? And what games would you like to see added to Switch Online? Now, I realize a lot of you guys find other ways to get on the high seas and play some of these games, if you catch my drift. So let me know a game that you like to see brought over to the Switch Online that you like for normies like who haven't played these Japanese games like me to check out. With that said, you guys make sure you hit the subscribe button. Join the 100,000 normal men. I got another video for you right here. I got another subscription button for you right here. So hit those both and come join the 100,000 normal men. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day.